الحمد لله وكفى وصلاة على عباده الذين اصطفى وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا عبده ونبيه المجتبى والمصطفى وبعد. Brothers and sisters, today inshallah would discuss a very serious topic, a political topic, and a historic topic. It is the Caliphate of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. If you would like to give it a traditional title. But if you'd like to give it a modern title, you'd rather call it the birth of democracy in the history of Islam. The birth of human democracy in the history of Islam. Before the death of Prophet ﷺ, he ﷺ used to consult Muslims about most of public affairs. So they would give their own suggestions, their own opinions, and he ﷺ in most of cases would depend upon the majority view. As we see clearly in the case of whether they should fight against their enemies inside the walls of Medina or go out and fight them in the desert during the day of Uhud. And because most of young people voted for going out and leaving Medina, and they said that they shouldn't think that we are fearing them or we are coward and would like to go and fight them face to face outside Medina. So he ﷺ even, he had the opinion that he should keep inside Medina and have the walls of Medina as siege around him to fight as a fortifications against the enemies. But he went with the majority view. In our case, on the day of the trench, Al-Khandaq, and before that, when the Prophet ﷺ consulted about what is the proper decision regarding the prisoners of war after the Battle of Badr. So many cases indeed. But once he ﷺ passed away, we don't have the rightly guided revelation from Allah to correct whatever we may do. And we won't have the Prophet now because he passed away. So if we commit a mistake, any mistake, we have to come and re-correct it after that. Alone, without the guidance of Allah, we can truly depend upon the interpretation of the Quran and Sunnah is right. But finally, we have a limited reasoning. Our thinking is not absolute. We are not perfect. In so many cases, there are so many elements and factors that intervene with our own visions of things. So on this day, the Sahaba proceeded to decide on the issue of caliphate. On the issue of who would be the president, the caliph, the ruler after Prophet ﷺ before they buried Prophet ﷺ, before they prepared the washing of Prophet ﷺ. Why? We knew from our history that before the Prophet ﷺ, Medina had no king, Mecca had no king. Those people had no systematic presidency, no systematic kingdom, no systematic government. Why should they have it now? Because they learned it. They understood the Quran. They understood the meaning of union. They understood how important to keep yourself, your community united and to follow one command. That's why we have Salah and we come behind one Imam. That's why we have Zakah and we give each other seasonally. We give each other yearly. We give each other before Eid Ramadan. That's why we have Hajj. And all of us gather together on this day to stand united. Those who are coming from India or China, and those who are coming from the Western America and Canada, those who are African, Asian, European, all of us have the same kind of wearing, the same kind of clothes, the same kind of announcement, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. We are standing on the same land. We are saying the same announcement. We are saying the same dua. We are mentioning the same dhikr. We are facing the same qibla. We have the same intention. And we are feeling how we are gathered together as full brothers and sisters. This is Islam. So the Sahaba went and proceeded to decide on the issue of caliphate because they knew from the new learning, from the Quran, from the Sunnah, how important to have one unity, one government, how important to have Muslims, all of them, stand united against any enemies. And this is unfortunately what we failed to keep after the death of the last rightly guided Caliph Ali ibn Abi Talib. And from this day until today, we are still suffering the same kind of disunity, disruption, and differences. So on this day, the news came to Abu Bakr that the people of Ansar went to Saqīfa Banī Sāʿida to decide upon the ruler following the Prophet, the successor who would succeed Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if we would like to go deeply to understand the situation on this day, indeed we have 5 political blocks or 5 political groups, 5 political parties. Number 1, the immigrants led by Abu Bakr and Umar. And this one was the most neutral and the fairest one and the best one. Why? Because they depend upon one thing, Islam. And whatever belonging to Islam, knowledge, good deeds, jihad in the cause of Allah, love of the Sunnah, following the example of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and after that we have the family of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is what the Shiites think that the family of Prophet should be the rulers after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then we have the Khazraj, the biggest tribe in Medina. And then we have the Aus, this is the other tribe in Medina, but they are less in number and weight and men. And then we have the tribes who were at this moment in Medina, because the Prophet ﷺ, as we said, he ﷺ was preparing the army led by Usama ibn Zayd to go and fight against the Roman enemies at the northern part of Arabia. So we have 5 parties: Muhajirun, Khazraj, Aus, and the family of Prophet ﷺ, and the tribes, the Bedouin tribes who came for jihad. Now, the Khazraj, the majority of the inhabitants of Medina, decided on Sa'd ibn Ubadah, one of the best Sahaba, one of the best supporters of Prophet ﷺ, one of the most generous people in pre-Islamic Arabia and in Islam. And after him, his family, his son was one of the most generous persons in our history. Great, wealthy, righteous family. And their brothers from Laos just shyly supported him. But Abu Bakr came, and on his way with Umar ibn al-Khattab and Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah, 3 figures who are leading figures in our history. Abu Bakr, you know, Umar the second Caliph, and Abu Ubaidah, the trustworthy Sahabi and the trustworthy person in our history. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, for each ummah there is a trustworthy person, and the trustworthy of our ummah is Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah. They went, and on their way they meet two friends, Uwaym ibn Sāʿida and Āsim ibn Adi. Both friends were from Laos, not from Khazraj. And they have a discussion, and they told him about the situation in the Saqīfa, the situation inside the meeting. They are about to decide on Sa'd ibn Ubadah. But they said, they advised, now decide now. Before you go and meet him, decide now who would be the ruler from you. Why? Because the Aus mostly didn't like that one from Al-Khazraj would be the Caliph. And at the same time, the Khazraj were the biggest power in Medina. And most of them would like to become the rulers after that, as we have seen, or as we have seen in the dynasty of Umayyad and in the dynasty of Abbasid after them. You know? And this against the Sunnah, this against the Quran, this against the guidance of Islam. There is no royal dynasties in Islam. There is no dictatorship in Islam. There is no one who can employ or appoint his son, his brother, as following ruler in Islam. Because we knew from the Seerah, from the Sunnah, that the Prophet ﷺ had great figures in his family, but he never said that you would be the president after me. So Abu Bakr and Umar went to Saqīfa, and they knew that they were about to decide on Sa'd. So Umar prepared something inside himself just to say and address people before Abu Bakr. But Abu Bakr said to him, keep silent, don't speak. And Umar were very shy from Abu Bakr. he didn't act harshly with him, and he kept silent. Then Abu Bakr addressed people and addressed the Ansar after praising Allah and saying peace and blessings upon Prophet ﷺ. Then he said, O brothers from Al-Ansar, whatever you have said of glories you had in Islam, you have done, and you deserve any good praise you mention and more than it. But the Arabs won't come into agreement for anyone unless he would be one from Quraysh, because they are highest in lineage and they are the best in location because of Mecca. Now be careful. Abu Bakr didn't say, no one would accept you because the Prophet said the Caliph must be from Quraysh. He didn't say this. He depended upon reasoning, upon the way people used to think at these days. And then Umar ibn Khattab started to encourage people after Abu Bakr finished everything, and he said, don't you know that he sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded Abu Bakr to lead you in prayers while he was still living? Would any one of you would be satisfied to place his feet in the feet of Abu Bakr and lead him after Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded Abu Bakr to become your leader? They said, we seek refuge with Allah to lead Abu Bakr in anything. And then Umar took the hand of Abu Bakr and tried to give him bay'ah, but Bashir ibn Sa'd proceeded to the hand and take it. And he gave bay'ah first, then Umar after him, then Abu Ubaidah, then other Sahaba. And on the second day, Abu Bakr and Umar went to the mosque with all people, those who are from Medina and those who are coming from out of Medina, those who are leading figures in Islam and those who are newcomers to Islam. Each one would give his own bay'ah one by one. This is very similar to the act of voting. Each one would give the bay'ah, would give the agreement, the pledge of allegiance and obedience to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala. But Abu Bakr looked and he didn't see Ali and he didn't see Zubayr. So he sent some to bring them. When Zubayr came, he said, oh Zubayr, you said to yourself, I am the son of the aunt of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you want to make Muslims disunited? He said, forgive me, O Caliph, O Prophet. And he gave his pledge of obedience. Then Ali came and he said to him, oh Ali, you said to yourself, I'm the cousin of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm the son-in-law of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he was the husband of Fatima. And you wanted to make Muslims disunited? He said, forgive me, Abu Bakr. And he gave the pledge of obedience. Now, if we think about the situation, which we have made it very short, if any one of other party, of other blocks, of other groups became the president, we won't have the lofty example which we call al-Khilaf al-Rashida, the right guided caliph. Why? Because Abu Bakr came from a weak tribe from Quraysh. He had no great wealth, no great numbers of men. Abu Bakr depended upon Islam and knowledge and religion and good deeds. And this is what we must do today. When we elect, when we vote, we shouldn't vote for the wealthy who pay for us. We shouldn't vote for the powerful people who depend upon families, tribes, or history, or dynasties. We should depend upon knowledge, trust, truthfulness, and religiosity. Those who fear Allah, those who follow the example of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, if you just contemplate, you'll find that at this moment, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq started his 61 years. He was 61 years old, while Ali ibn Abi Talib was only 33 years old. So if he is expected to govern for decades and decades, and during these decades, others from the Banī Hashim and others may become rulers, as happened during the Caliphate of Uthman, and after that, as happened during the Caliphate of Muawiyah. But this never happened. Allah wanted to give us the example. Allah wanted to guide us to the right democracy. Allah wanted to give us the example of Abu Bakr, and after him of Umar, because these two examples came from just weak tribes from Quraysh, weak families. They depended on knowledge and righteousness and love of the Sunnah. And this is the solution for our Muslim dilemma these days. At least we come back to the Sunnah of Prophet and follow the example of Abu Bakr and Umar. We will never be stand united. We will never be able to elect, to vote for the righteous people. We will be just following the trend of choosing the wealthy people, the powerful tribe leader. This is wrong. This is not in Islam. Let's end with this situation that took place between Umar ibn al-Khattab and some people on the day of Arafah during the last year of the life of Umar. It came to Umar that the person said, if Umar would die, I would give the bay'ah, the pledge of obedience to so and so. So Umar was about to give speech to people and warn them against them. But Abdul Rahman ibn Auf said, don't speak to people here on the day of Arafah, because most of those around you don't have background, don't have knowledge. But when you go back to Medina, where the scholars and jurists and those who are well knowledgeable of Sunnah would listen to you, understand you, keep whatever you are saying and implement it perfectly. So in the first Jummah, after returning home to Medina, Umar stood on the minbar and he gave a long speech, out of which we just have this short sentence. It came to me that some people said such and such, that the bay'ah of Abu Bakr were very quickly, and it was so. But there is no one of you who is like Abu Bakr. And he promised to warn against those people who have the intentions of forcing Muslims to follow a specific ruler without taking the opinions, and even you can say in modern terminology, the votes of Muslims. And he started to relate what happened on the Saqīfa. And finally he said, we had no decision more perfect than making Abu Bakr our ruler. We feared, if we lived without making Abu Bakr, our brothers from Al-Khazraj would decide on one of them. So either we follow what they did while we are dissatisfied, or the corruption would spread in the Ummah. So what do you think now? Umar, Abu Bakr, and other Sahaba were key to one thing, to keep Muslims united, to keep the way of Allah. They didn't depend on tribal inclinations. They didn't depend on wealth. They didn't depend on the powers of families. They depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the Quran, on the Sunnah. And that's why we say the best day in the life of Islam, following the death of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was exactly the day of the death of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Because it is the day of the birth of Muslim democracy. The day when knowledge, righteousness, love of this ummah, love of union prevailed upon tribes, upon even the blood relations of the Prophet ﷺ, upon all kinds of powers in this world except the power of religion and Sunnah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us the true guidance to follow the Prophet ﷺ and to act upon the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and to follow the example of Abu Bakr and Umar and the rightly guided Khalif, and save all of us from the misguidance and from all kinds of evil, and admit all of us to Jannah, and keep all of us away from the people of fire and from the acts of fire and from the punishment. اللهم اغفر ذنوبنا، يسر امورنا، فرج قلوبنا، تولى جميع امورنا، لا تكلنا الى انفسنا طرفة عين ولا اقل من ذلك. اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما اخرنا، واغفر لنا ما اسررنا وما اعلنا، واغفر ما انت اعلم به منه. آت نفوسنا تقواها، زكاها انت خير من زكاها، أنت وليها ومولاها. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم واستغفروه.